Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief, APGAINS. We're going to help you unlock Darth Malak with as low gear and as little time as possible, because this guy is fantastic. You slap him on defense, even without Malak in the early stages of the game, your opponents are going to not be able to beat him, and you are going to get a bunch of free wins, basically. So let's get you guys this man unlocked. Tier 1, basically, is just for free. Tier 2 is no problem whatsoever. As you see, obviously, there's a little extra gear here because I had to gear up for the Malak event. So we're not doing this with minimum possible gear, as I show you right now, but I will explain how you will go about doing this. Strategies to help you win this with as little gear possible, as little time wasted as possible. Because this event is pretty interesting in that most of it just comes down to knowing how the events actually play out and not so much about, the actual gear that you come in. So Tier 3 is going to be really difficult for you. So is Tier 4. Tier 3 and Tier 4 are kind of the only tiers that you guys need to worry about. It's going to be this one where you face Calo Nord, and then the next one where you face Ajunta Paul. For the most part, the rest of it can be done with incredibly low gear, so you shouldn't really have too much trouble. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are stuck on one of those tiers that's not this mission or the Ajunta Paul level, and I'll try to help you out in the comment section. But basically, the general strategy for unlocking this event is you want at least, I would say, a Gear 11 plus well-modded Basilishan Fallen or a Gear 12 Basilishan Fallen. Now, of course, you can always relic her before this event. Like, let's say you don't have a 7-star Juhani. Feel free to relic her because you're going to need to relic her anyway. She's a great early relic for your account, no matter what. So you can never go over gear on Basilishan Fallen. The other thing you're really going to need is you're going to need your HK around Gear 10. If you're feeling spicy, you can go up to Gear 11. But the great thing about having a Gear 12 Basilishan Fallen and maybe like a Gear 11, Gear 10, HK47 is you don't have to invest too early in the rest of the Old Republic tunes. Now, of course, you can always overgear all of the characters. You're not going to be penalized for it because eventually you do have to have them at 17,500 GP for the Malak event. So it's not wasted galactic power. But certainly if you don't want to do that right away and you'd rather just unlock Darth Revan, relic him, and worry about some other stuff, you're pretty good. So this is the general strategy for this event. Since your Basilishan is probably going to be quick and she's probably going to be your highest gear, she's likely going to go first. If she doesn't go first, you can still kind of do it because these guys aren't super fast, but ideally you want Basilishan to go before all of them. You're going to fear. This is going to apply fear here. Now, once we pop the fear with any other character, the taunt will go away. All right? So, we can do things like throw more fear down over here on Calo Nord, and we can kind of avoid him. So the strategy of this is going to be we want to make sure Calo Nord takes as little turns as humanly possible, but also every time that he does take a turn, he is ability blocked. So some people like to blitz him down. That's going to be a little bit, counterproductive because we're going to waste this fear. This is an entire turn that he can take where we don't have to worry about him. Now, I'm going to kill these guys a little bit faster, but as long as you keep him on lockdown, this event can be done with really low gear because these guys aren't super strong. The Darth Revan does some good damage. Your Basilishan and HK do a good chunk of damage because of the, the gear. Maybe this Basilishan Fallen's Gear 12. HK47 does some good damage against debuff units if you have that Omega, which is pretty useful for this event. So basically, he's still feared, so we're going to ignore him until he takes his first turn. Now he has no fear, and he's normal. So he is going to annihilate this when this count gets to 3. You know what I'm saying? So when this gets to 3 stacks, he's going to just kill someone. So what we want to do is before he takes his turn, we can try to stun him, but it's always resisted. Before he takes his turn, we're going to want Basilishan Fallen to do a basic ability on him so that he's ability blocked. Now, of course, HK47 using his middle ability will, create tenacity down so that we can land it more frequently. But unfortunately, we couldn't take a turn before. So now he's up to 2 stacks. So he's going to get to 3 stacks. He's going to kill someone. I just realized my face is covering the screen, but we're going to want to ability block, and now that he's ability blocked, we basically just want to keep him ability blocked for the rest of it. Now, obviously, I'm going to win this a lot easier than you because I have Malak level gear on these characters and not just Darth Revan unlock gear. That being said, it's not really going to be a problem with you if you employ the strategy of just keeping him feared and, most importantly, keeping him ability blocked with Basilishan's basic. So you can do that with low gear. The mods don't have to be great. And as far as the next, so I guess that's technically it says tier 3, but it's the 4th one. So then tier 4, this is the Ajunta Paul mission. This is the one where a lot of people really struggle. This is where it is kind of important to either have a Gear 12 Basilishan Fallen or a pretty strong HK47. This Omega right here, where this attack does 30% critical damage against debuffed enemies, is pretty helpful because we do want to have him debuffed. Ajunta Paul debuffed. I'm assuming Ajunta Paul's a boy. My Old Republic lore is not great, so, sorry if it's actually a woman. Funny APGAINS lore, by the way. My Wi-Fi network is called Korriban, which I always find funny every time we do some Old Republic stuff, which is weird because, I'm not a huge Old Republic, fan. So Ajunta Paul attacks a lot and kind of randomly. So this is RNG based. If you get bad RNG and Ajunta Paul just like kills your whole team, just restart. There is no real way to stop Ajunta Paul from doing all this stuff. Now, you can land this shock here. That's why Basilishan going first is great. And since there is a debuff, not only is there Corrupted Battle Meditation, but let's say the Corrupted Battle Meditation doesn't land. You want to start with this shock ability so that HK-47 can do all that bonus damage. Now, Ajunta Paul is going to, start wailing on everyone. And if you're a little bit lower gear, it's going to be kind of a struggle for you guys to survive these hits. Obviously, my characters are surviving them a little bit better. But now that there's a debuff, we use the basic ability. Well, we're going to get dodged. And this kind of goes to show you that even with, over gear, the RNG in this is absolutely insane. So, another dodge. But, assuming that you land the basic, because this is a very RNG-dependent event, it will do a big chunk of damage. Now, of course, I have a Relic Basilishan Fallen, which is going to make this a lot easier. I actually, on this account, did this event the first time with a Relic Basilishan Fallen. It's a character that once you're gear 12, it's not super hard to gear 13 her and take her to relics. You might as well relic 3 her, the second you can, because she is such an amazing character, especially because you are going to want to throw on defense with a relic Darth Revan in the early game. Even without Malak, your opponents are going to massively struggle with beating that. Like, they literally won't be able to beat it. In 99% of cases, at early GPs, early game, your opponents are just not going to be able to beat it. You don't really have to worry about the rest of these tiers. They're all pretty easy. This one, I don't even remember what this one is, but apparently I did it with a level 80 Giovanni. Oh yeah, you get the event unit, Darth Revan and Jolie Bindo, and you kind of just beat up on Basilishan Fallen. And then this one, I don't even remember what this one is either, but these ones aren't super hard, so you can do them with basically, to sum it all up for you guys, if you want to get Darth Revan, Gear 12, probably your Basilishan Fallen. Gear 10, your HK-47. Maybe you Gear 11 if you want. He's only Gear 11 on this account because all Old Republic characters from Malak can get 17,500 galactic power. So you see they're all just barely above... Well, this is a different character, but they're all just barely above 17,500 galactic power. So if you're struggling and you're just like frustrated and you Gear 10 your Canderous or Gear 11 your Karth or whatever... Don't feel like it's going to be kind of a bad investment because eventually you're going to need that GP for Malak anyway, so it's not really the end of the world. But I would highly, highly, highly recommend Gear 12 Basilishan Fallen, maybe Gear 10, Gear 11 HK-47, and if you can, if at all possible, relic your Basilishan Fallen. You're going to want to relic anyway. Even before you have Darth Revan, she's great with, Emperor Palpatine and other stuff. Emperor Palpatine, Thrawn, Basilishan Fallen is a legendary undersized team from way back in the day that I came up with and used quite successfully for many years. But yeah, that's how you get Darth Revan. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, like the video for Ballsack Bugs Bunny. It's massive PP May. Let's try to get 20,000 subscribers. You subscribe. It helps my ego get bigger. Who knows? I suck at outros, but bye.